Here's another good way to use up some tomatoes and peppers and onions, Mexican style goulash. I will skip the elbow macaroni. Stan's picking a few ears of corn. If I have an extra ear, I will cut that off. I've got some tomatoes over here, some peppers and onion, a little bit of that squash. We'll talk about that. And then just some seasonings. Okay, when I pruned the squash, or Stan said murdered it, I really murdered it. There's blooms out there, but hardly any squash at all. So I'm happy because I was getting too many. So I've got some squash, these are Fulju jalapeños that are not hot at all. Here's a regular jalapeno, I believe. Nope, that's not the one. Must be this one. It has purple on top. That's the one. An onion, and then some of these tomatoes that need to be used right at once. I don't think they will wait until Monday. So that's what I'm going to use, along with an ear of corn and some hamburger. So tomorrow we're going to be freezing sweet corn. Today we have a few ears just to eat. Not the best sweet corn. I had to cut off some bug spots, rotten spots on the top. I'm going to take the silks off. I've got a pot of boiling water on the stove. There's really no good way I found to clean the hairs off. There aren't as many hairs in the afternoon as there are in the morning. I've tried corn brushes. I've tried a brand new Adobe pad. I've tried dry washcloths, dishcloths. Nothing seems to do a perfect job, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I used the corn brush. It didn't do too bad a job getting the silks off. As soon as this water comes to a boil, put them in there for about 6 minutes or so. I did not want the tomato skins in the Mexican goulash, so since I still had that water that had been boiling for the corn, I just cut the top around from the tomato and put an X on the bottom of it, stuck it in there for a couple of minutes, put it in cold water, the skin slipped right off, chopped it up, and now it's ready to go. Okay, just going to chop up these peppers. I won't use the seeds just in case one of these is hot. I think maybe one. I don't know. This one I know is sweet. Chop those up, chop the onions up once I've got everything chopped. And the hamburger fried, I'll throw that in there, throw the tomatoes and corn in, put some fajita seasoning on that, and see what it looks like. For the little baby squash, cut them in half, turn them over, cut them in half again, give it a fairly fine chop. Same with the onions, kind of a coarse chop on the onions. Okay, just tasted it, and the jalapeno with the purplish top is a jalapeno. Still kind of a mild one, but not a completely mild one like the Fulju jalapeno. So I'll take the seeds out of this one, leave a few seeds maybe, and chop that up and put that with the other. I drained the fat off the hamburger, and now it's just a matter of dumping everything in. I have the fajita seasoning in there. Here are the squash, got some basil, the hot pepper and the sweet pepper, and the onion. Maybe saute that a little bit before I add the corn and the tomatoes. I may need another tomato cut up. I'll see what it looks like. Okay, so I'll cook this a little bit, and then I'll add the tomato, and I cut off one ear of corn because we ate the rest. I was going to cut off two, but this corn was really good. And so Stan ate 3 ears, and I ate 3 ears, and that's what's left. After cooking for about 5 minutes on medium-low heat, the vegetables are softening up, the onions are becoming translucent, so it's time to add in the tomatoes and the corn, and a little bit of, got lime juice on there, so I've got a cube of lime juice. We'll see if this is enough tomatoes, if I can get them all in the pan and not on the stove. Okay, this should cook now for maybe another 15 or 20 minutes. I'll put it on simmer, put the lid on, and maybe give it a stir every few minutes. And we'll see what the finished product looks like. When I say adjust the seasoning at the end, I might put a teeny bit of salt in here, but that's kind of a personal preference. So when you're done, if it needs more spice, put some more chili powder in it. If it needs more salt, add a little bit of salt. If you want to stick some black pepper in it, feel free to do that too. Looks great though, don't you think? Yeah. Once those tomatoes get cooked down, that'll make a nice sauce. Okay, after about 10 minutes, that's what it looks like. It's a nice thick stew. If you wanted it a little runnier, you could add another tomato to it. It's good. I added a half teaspoon of salt and tasted it, and it's good as is. Probably going to cook it at least another 5, maybe 10 minutes, just to soften up the peppers and squash a little bit more. But other than that, it's good. Try it.